Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident fanalist, as always, Ryan Schlipp. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_data. Well, it is getting a little bit late, so I'm going to try to fly through this as quickly as I possibly can, while still doing what it is we got to do. So the PFF grades are out. Usually what I've been doing is trying to get a couple other things like NFL Pro. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to start with PFF. We'll go through PFF, and then I may head over there to see if I can find a couple extra little details here and there. In fact, one of the things that I am curious about is how guys are stacking up, because I had made the comment, I think yesterday, that I wouldn't be surprised if we have the top two safeties in football right now, just based on how I know the grades are shaking out. And I'm pretty sure that's true. I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure I saw that was the case. So anyways, let's just get right into it. Immediatamente. I've been off the grid here, busy all day long. So if there's any major breaking news, my bad, I missed it. We'll talk about it later. All right. You know what? Let's do special teams because that's less exciting. Special teams at the bottom of the list here, the guys that were the worst. Matt Orzich, who just continues to stay. This is below a 50 because there's several 50s. We don't need to get into it. With a 45 grade, Ben Sims, 39, Evan Williams, 38, Xavier McKinney, 30. Xavier McKinney, I think, is our lowest graded special teamer right now. Don't super care. It's not his thing. Whatever. Take him off special teams. 4 guys produced at a pretty high level. Bullard, this is incredible. 4 guys had about a 70 or higher. Bullard, 69, Cooper, 73, Malik Heath, 77, Tyron Hopper, 87 PFF grade on special teams. What the heck with this microphone already? So 4 guys performed well. 3 of them are rookies. I feel like every year I just say, there's no way Gutekunst has a better draft than this. I swear, man. I it's tough to top some of this stuff. Jaden Reed and Tucker Kraft, Watson and Dobbs. That Watson-Dobbs draft was incredible. But I am rapidly falling in love with this draft class, and we still haven't even really seen our first-round pick. We haven't even seen the running back. Tyron Hopper just makes plays. He was fantastic all offseason and preseason. He is now buried on the depth chart, but while he's not getting snaps on defense, he's like our top special teams guy right now. So, we haven't really even got a chance to see him yet. Our kicker got a 55 grade, which is incredibly generous. He was 4 for 4 on extra points, 2 for 3 on field goals. I guess, whatever. Punter rated as 60. All right, back to the offense. On the negative side, and again, I like to go below 55 as sort of the cutoff. Rasheed Walker had a 53. That's rough for him. He had another good pass blocking, bad run blocking to where it's I want to be okay with the run blocking, but it's so bad it's becoming a serious problem. Elton Jenkins, kind of similar. I don't even know the penalties. He had 2 penalties. That's why I was going to say he didn't even have that bad of a day. Rasheed also had a penalty. That really hurts the grades. But Elton Jenkins, 52. Jordan Morgan, 49. I think he had one of the lowest in both pass and run. He's got to improve, but, just give him time. Tucker Kraft with a 49, definitely was not his day, and then Malik Heath with a 45. On the positive side, there really weren't a lot of average. Usually it's mostly 60s. A lot of positives. In fact, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to round this up too. Chris Brooks with a 69 grade. Christian Watson, 70. Sean Ryan, welcome to the frickin' family, 72. Emmanuel Wilson, 72. Jordan Love, 72. Josh Jacobs, 74. Andrew Beck, the fullback, 80. Dude had an 88 run blocking grade. Okie doke. Ben Sims with an 84. I'm really worried about my tight end prediction with Luke Musgrave because Ben Sims is apparently just a freak. So I don't know. And then the highest graded is just, I mean, you want to talk about draft picks that are remarkable. Zach Tom with an 88 PFF grade. It's got to be one of the highest. I think last week was a rough week for him. He had kind of rough grades. Dude, there's a fly on my microphone. Get out of my face, stupid. Some of these guys just want to die. They're just like, I hate living. I'm flying in your face. Please kill me. I can hear them saying it. Yeah, last week was rough, but geez, 88 run blocking grade, 82. I mean, he's a better run blocker. He's got an 82 pass blocking grade on the season and an 86 run. He is an unbelievable run blocker. I never would have thought that, ever. He just is, though. I love Zach Tom, dude. He's so freaking good. All right, let's dig into the offense a little bit here. Jordan Love, 72. He had a 70 passing grade. 69 completion percentage, which is high as it is. His adjusted completion rate, though, was a 76. He had 258 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. He had 1 big-time throw and 0 turnover-worthy plays. That's where sort of the advanced stats and stuff help, because turnover-worthy plays matter more than turnovers. You can have 4 passes that should have been picked, but nobody picked it. You still basically threw those picks, right? Whether or not the person has the talent or the ability or was paying attention enough to actually catch the interception is kind of irrelevant. Once you let go of the ball, the grade is done, right? It's just everything that happens after is irrelevant to what your grade should be. The decision you made, the accuracy of the pass, all that stuff, that's baked in. So again, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, but he had 1 big-time throw, 0 turnover-worthy plays, 0 sacks. I think one of the weirdest things ever to have 0 sacks in an entire game. That was the craziest pass I've ever seen. And a 119.5 passer rating. If you look at the pressure, made a big difference in this game. He was pressured 30% of the time, which came out to 11 of his dropbacks. He was 5 of 9 for 70 yards and a touchdown, but PFF absolutely hated him. Gave him a 45 passing grade, 52 overall grade. While he was clean, though, 17 of 23, 74% completion rate, 77 adjusted, 188 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. They gave him an 82 grade overall and passing. It was even more pronounced when you look at just blitzing. He had an 87 grade when not blitzed, 42 when blitzed. Looking at the receivers and specifically the receiving grades, highest receiving grade goes to Ben Sims with a 91 receiving grade. Good Lord. Christian Watson, 73. Josh Jacobs, 72. Romeo Doubs, 70. Wicks, 66. Emmanuel Wilson, 63. Jaden Reed, 61. Bo Melton, 49. Tucker Kraft, 49. Didn't record any drops, though, which is kind of interesting. Not that I really remember any, but I'm just kind of shocked to see 0 drops in the game. Yards per route run. Again, don't really know what exactly is fantastic, but I generally look for above 2. And the above 2 guys, Christian Watson, 2.62 yards per route run. Ben Sims, 4.22 yards per route run. And you got Wilson, Doubs, Wicks, Jacobs, Reed were in the 1s. And then below a 1, you had Bo Melton with 0.86 yards per route run. Tucker Kraft, 0.45 yards per route run. So probably a big part of what the issue with his grades is the fact that dude ran 29 routes and caught 2 passes for 13 yards. Contested catches, Romeo Doubs had 3 opportunities and caught 2 contested catches. That was the most on both accounts, most opportunities and most catches. Christian Watson had 2 opportunities, caught 1 of them. Bo Melton was 1 for 1. Nobody else had any opportunities, so the team was 4 of 6. Missed tackles forced, only 1. And then the passer rating stuff is just through the roof. You had 3 that were pretty bad. Bo Melton was a 16.7, Wicks 42, Tucker 57. But then you had 105, 118.8, 125.7, 155.2, and the highest was Christian Watson with a 156.3 passer rating when targeted. My goodness. Rushing grades. Josh Jacobs with a 73, Emmanuel Wilson 73, Bo Melton 71. Chris Brooks, 67. Jordan Love, 67. Tucker Kraft with a 62.6, so 63. Jaden Reed with a 60. So it wasn't Jaden's best day, kind of overall, but, everybody's going to have their day. It's hard for Tucker Kraft and Jaden Reed to have great days when Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson have great days. But, hey, Reed caught a touchdown. Yards after contact per attempt. Chris Brooks led the team with 5 yards after contact per attempt. Dude averaged 5.3 yards per attempt. That's sickening. Emmanuel Wilson ran for 7.7 yards per attempt, which is stupid. 4.29 were after contact. And Josh Jacobs, just 2.73 yards after contact. He had 3.4 yards per attempt. There were 7 missed tackles forced. 4 of them were by Josh Jacobs, 3 of them by Emmanuel Wilson. Josh Jacobs still doing a good job of breaking tackles. Longest carries of the day, Bo Melton and Emmanuel Wilson had 16 yarders. Josh Jacobs 14, Chris Brooks 11. Carries of over 10 yards, Bo and Emmanuel Wilson had 2. Brooks and Josh Jacobs each had 1. Carries over 15, Bo and Emmanuel Wilson each had 1. What else is interesting? I don't think anything else. And then finally, offensive line. At left tackle, we had primarily Rasheed Walker, although Sean Ryan took 1 snap at left tackle. Rasheed, it's difficult to keep defending him because the run blocking is getting to be so bad and the pass blocking has dipped the last 2 weeks. So, for example, leaving out week 1, which wasn't the best week for him in the world, he had a 56 run blocking grade, but an 88 pass blocking grade. Bro, I don't care. I don't care. Tennessee, his run blocking grade was a 48, which is terrible, but he had almost an 80 pass blocking grade again. So we're talking 2 weeks in a row of like a 90 and an 80, if we're rounding pretty heavily here. That's unbelievably good. So it's 47, but I'm okay with it. Against Minnesota, it's a 59 run blocking, 82 pass blocking. So now that's 3 weeks in a row you're in the 80s, with one of them pushing 90. And you had 2 average run blocking games and a bad run. You know what? I don't care. Then it goes down to a 74 pass blocking, but it's a 62 run. I can deal with that. This week, we're down to a 70 pass blocking and a 41 run blocking. We're really, really trending in the wrong direction here. He's still been solid on pass blocking, but this is his worst run blocking game. It was horrifically bad, and the pass blocking is just barely good. If you take even a half a step back from here, I'm not saying I'm all the way off the train, but I'm definitely looking at the situation and saying this just is not going to work. You can't do this anymore. So either the run blocking has to pick up from here or the pass blocking has to get back to the 80s. I can't do 70 pass blocking, 40 run blocking. That ain't going to work. Anyways, left guard, we had 4 different people at different times play left guard. By the way, Sean Ryan, 1 snap. We'll get to Sean Ryan. Elton Jenkins was our left guard, 73 pass blocking, 58 run blocking. Again, that's borderline, he's very similar in that it's like his run blocking the last 4 weeks, 50, 40, 40, 50. And it's, high 50s. It's 55, 46, 48, 58, whatever. I want Elton to be a better run blocker. He's been a better run blocker. I've seen it. This sucks, right? The first 2 weeks, he was in the 70s both weeks. Now the run blocking is bad. But he's in the 80s as a pass blocker almost every week. He's unbelievably good. 79, 85, 64. I don't know what the heck happened. 81, 82. But then this week, 73. So again, we're kind of looking at, look, I wish you were good at both. I wish you weren't hanging out in the 40s so much as a run blocker. But if you're an 80 pass blocker, you know what? I'll turn a blind eye. I can't do 50s and then just low 70s as a pass. That's not going to work. You got to pick a lane here. Either you can't run block, but you're a dominant pass blocker, or you're a good pass blocker and a mediocre run blocker. But with that said, again, he has been doing great as a pass blocker. This is actually his best year so far as a pass blocker for the Green Bay Packers. 20, I can't believe how long he's been a Packer. Doesn't feel like he's been here this long. This is year 6 for him. 2021, he had an 81 pass blocking grade. Last year was his next highest, 78. So far this year, 83. So he's doing a good job. And his run blocking, honestly, is kind of on par. Anyways, we also had 5 snaps from Sean Ryan in that spot. Again, we'll get to him. So he played 3 different positions. We had 1 from Zach Tom. Stuff was getting all kinds of crazy. And 1 from Rasheed Walker. At center, we had Josh Myers. Josh Myers had another bad day. I've been kind of saying with Josh, like he's been on a razor thin thing. I think it's just kind of over for Josh. He had a really good pass blocking game week 2, a good pass blocking game week 4. That's it. Otherwise, his pass blocking has been 58, 64, 56, 54. That's bad. On top of that, he has not had a single even average game. And that's being a little bit unfair, but as far as like a strict 60 or higher, 0. This past week was his best week of run blocking at a 59.5. The previous week was a 35.7. Josh Myers right now is just kind of a bad offensive lineman. And, he was one of those guys where the run blocking was never great, but the pass blocking was good enough. Last year, he was just all around bad. And I said, I'm kind of hoping that changes this year and we get to see the old Josh Myers. I don't think that's coming back. I think he's kind of a not great offensive lineman, and we're going to have to start looking at some options, I think. Right guard, pretty heavy rotation. We had 38 snaps for Jordan Morgan. They're really trying to push that. Sean Ryan, though, will not be denied for this job. So Jordan Morgan, 58.9 pass blocking, 48 run blocking. That's just dog crap. Like, that just sucks. Again, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but right now he is Josh Myers, right? This is just not good football. Sean Ryan, 85 pass blocking, 65 run blocking. Like, that's premier stuff. And honestly, he's been kind of consistent. The thing I didn't like about Sean Ryan before is, and this is kind of how the thing started, it was 65, 35, 80. So it's like, okay, decent, terrible, amazing. It's like, oh, here we go again. Like amazing, elite trash. No, after the 80 was like another 80, and then a 55, which is, we'll call it average, and then another 80. So in 4 weeks, he had 3 games that are like an 80. And the run blocking was, 56, 52, 65. Not the best, but I mean, that's just good football for a Packers offensive lineman. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, if this holds, and obviously they really want to push Jordan Morgan, and he's going to have to start for a little while at least. Maybe Elton can go to center, and we could see Sean Ryan and Jordan Morgan as the guards of the future. Maybe that'll be the way it goes. I don't know, but bottom line is Sean Ryan, despite all the noise that's been going on with everybody else, he's kind of playing kind of well here. I mean, as far as the grades are concerned. By the way, 0 sacks, hits, or hurries this past week. And then at right tackle, as I said, Zach Tom, just a stud, 83 pass blocking, 88 run blocking grade. I don't understand what that even means. I think it goes without saying, but 0 sacks, hits, or hurries. Just kind of stacking these. 2 guys were fantastic run blockers. Andrew Beck, 88. Zach Tom, 88. I mean, 87.9 and 87.8. Difference being 5 run blocking snaps for Beck and 35 for Zach Tom. The worst run blockers we had, Bo Melton, 53. Tucker, 50. Jordan Morgan, 48. Rasheed Walker, 41. Romeo Doubs, 41. And Christian Watson, 38. So the blocking not great for these guys coming back. I know they're good at it, but this was a bad week for them. Pass blocking, Sean Ryan, our best pass blocker, 85.4. Zach Tom, 82.6. Emmanuel Wilson, 79. Elton Jenkins, 73. Rasheed, 70.4. Ben Sims, 66. Jaden Reed, 66. Jordan Morgan, 58. Josh Myers, 54. Tucker Kraft, 49.7, and Josh Jacobs, 27.7. He only had 3 attempts, gave up a hit of those 3 attempts that he had. And then looking at statistics, Rasheed Walker gave up the most pressures. It was 4. All of them were hurries, no sacks or hits. Then Josh Myers, he gave up 3. Again, all hurries, no sacks or hits. We've got Josh Jacobs gave up the one that I just mentioned. Jordan Morgan gave up 1 hurry. Elton Jenkins gave up 1 hurry. Nobody else on the offensive line gave up anything, or on the team for that matter. So not only were there no sacks, just 1 hit on the day. But with that, why don't we go ahead and take a break? We'll come back and look at the defense. We'll see where we go from there. We got some incredible grades for the defense. It just got better. I mean, I looked at the preliminary grades yesterday. I don't remember what I told you, but it changed, I'm pretty sure, a lot for Evan Williams. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it being this good. So I got some really good, got some bad too. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Well, let's start with the bad. So below a 55. And again, some of this stuff just got to be better, you know. TJ Slayton, 53. Eric Stokes, 52. Stokes really, you know, I mean, I want the best for him. I want it to work out, but I don't know how many more weeks of just being bad you can have. I mean, this is 3 weeks in a row for him. The first 3 weeks were kind of average. His coverage grades were 66, 69, 63. You look at that and go, I mean, that's sustainable. At some point, you want to have a good game. The next 3 weeks, 35, 43, 50. I mean, that's dog crap. He's sitting at a 49 coverage grade. I mean, that's terrible. Anyways, Isaiah McDuffie with a 51. Quay Walker with a 49. I mean, look, it's been all year with these guys. It really has. Edgerrin has been a solid player for us, and we've got Quay's best game was a 68 grade. He's currently sitting at a 41 PFF grade. I mean, we're talking overall for the season. 55 run defense, 64 tackling, 65 pass rush, 42 coverage. I mean, Quay's just he's just bad. I don't know what else to say. He's bad at football, and it's not working. And the whole, like, well, he's got to get used to it and everything. Really? This is year 3 in the NFL. This is we're going into week 7 of this year in the NFL. How long am I supposed to just, like, baby this guy? I think I'm done. Isaiah McDuffie likewise has not had a single good game this year. His best was week 4 against Minnesota, 68 grade. Overall, he's sitting at a 52, 51 run defense, 44 tackling, 54 pass rush, 53 coverage. He doesn't have a single not bad grade anywhere. He's never really been a good linebacker. We've always kind of liked him. He's made some plays here and there. But his best year was year 1 when he played, you know, a third or a quarter of a season. He had a 58 PFF grade. It's just not there. And then when you contrast that with what we've had from Edgerrin these last couple weeks, I think right now he's a top 10 linebacker in the NFL. The contrast is stark, and it's just not good. I'll be honest, you know, as somebody that doesn't like to overreact, I wouldn't mind seeing if we can get Tyron Hopper out on the field a little bit and see what that guy can do, because I don't know how much worse it could get. I don't know. Again, I thought overall things were really good, but of the time, I don't know how many, what I would love to know what percentage of the time when I'm frustrated with a player on the defense, it's Quay. There are so many times I'm watching a guy catch a pass and I see Quay trailing behind or something, and it's like, God, come on, man. Why are you the way that you are? Anyways, then, worse than that, Preston Smith with a 44, Kenny Clark with a 44, and then Lucas Van Ness with a 30. So, Preston Smith so far this year, certainly trending downward. I mean, he had his one good year in 2021. That's about it. 2023 was good. I mean, 71 PFF grade was fine, I guess. Not great this year. He had one good game against Tennessee. Everything else has been average at best. This was his worst game. 9 pressures on 139 attempts is just not good. Look, he's 32 years old. I don't know that there's much left there. Kenny Clark just god awful. I don't know what else to say. Looked like we were trending in the right direction. His first 3 grades were 39, 48, 45, just terrible. And then it was 66. It's like, okay, that's something. And then it was a 78. It's like, okay, all right, now it's really something. And then this week a 44. It's just, I don't know, man. He had 2 pressures on 29 attempts, which is not good. And then, worse than that, his tackling grade was a 21 and his run defense is a 36. Right now, he has a 51 PFF grade. This is one of the highest paid defensive tackles in football. He is one of the lowest graded defensive tackles in football. 51 overall, 47 run defense, 29 tackling grade. This is on the season. 62 pass rush. He has 14 pressures on 170 attempts, which is not even 10%. I don't know, man. I don't know what else to say. And then Lucas Van Ness, he has also not had a good game this entire year. His best was week 5. He had a 69 grade. He has 4 pressures on almost 100 attempts. I mean, the math on that's pretty simple. It's at 4%. It's about as bad as you can get. I want to be patient with a guy, but this is year 2. Like with Rashawn, he didn't really play a full season until he was done with year 2. That's going to be kind of the case with Lucas Van Ness as well. But we're looking 2 years, 1 maybe full year worth of snaps in these 2 years, and we have not had good production. I mean, last year was better, but it wasn't good. So, we got to see something from Lucas Van Ness. Otherwise, we got to look at it and say Lucas just is not working out, and Kenny's not working out, and a lot of these guys are just not working out. So, I don't want to overreact to this game because this was uncharacteristic for him, but I don't want to outright defend him because, again, the guy hasn't been playing well this year. So, it is what it is, man. All right, getting to the positives. We've got 5 of them. Jair had a 71 grade. That's despite being horrifically bad with run defense and tackling in this game. That's how good his coverage was. 71 PFF grade for Jair. And then it skyrockets up. So the first guy with a 70 is Jair. And then an 81 grade for Edgerrin Cooper. What an incredible... Let's look at Jair real quick here first before I do everybody else. Jair has been great. So he's missed a couple games. Week 1 was bad, but then it was 71, 89, 71. He currently has a 75 PFF grade and a 79 coverage grade. His last 2 coverage grades, by the way, week 3 against Tennessee and then this week, 90 and 83. So we'll see if that can continue, but dude is freaking locked in coverage. But Edgerrin Cooper has a 81 grade. The last 2 weeks, so 81 this week, 86 the week before. On the season, 78, 70 run defense, 70 tackling, 90 pass rush, and 73 coverage. That's what he's doing so far as a rookie. Now, it's just 125 snaps. We'll see how it goes, but, he has been freaking unbelievable. Then, finally, third best, Rashawn Gary. It was his first good game of the season. So, like a lot of these other guys, no good games. Finally, we got a Rashawn breakout. 82 overall grade, 77 run defense, 73 tackling, and a 70 pass rush. It's actually the second week in a row he's had a good pass rush grade. So that's a great thing. So four weeks of not, and then 2 weeks of it seems to be clicking. The stats finally caught up this week also. 26 attempts, 3 pressures. It's not earth-shattering, but it's at least, the number you're looking for at a minimum. So he's got a long way to go to kind of get it back up, but his 2 best games of the season were the last 2 weeks. So we're headed in the right direction. His best overall game, best run defense grade, best, not quite best tackling grade, but it's up there. One of his, last week also, about best pass rush. This is his best game, all right? Shut up. Then we get another jump. So it went from 71 to 81 to 93 for Carl Brooks. And he played almost 30 snaps. So you think, Carl Brooks didn't play that much. No, he played a lot. He had 8 run defense snaps, 21 pressure snaps, and then 0 in coverage, although that was his highest grade, which was a 94.6. I don't know if that accounts for... I don't know. I don't know how the guy has the grade that he does, because his run defense, tackling, and pass rush really were not that good. And he played 29 snaps. So I don't really know, but they absolutely loved the guy. So whatever. And then number 1, and again, I do not remember him being number 1 I don't remember him being, I thought he was in the 80s last night. In fact, I'm positive he was in the 80s yesterday. But the people in charge went back, double-checked the numbers, made some changes. 93.3 grade for Evan Williams. 66 run defense, 80 tackling, 91 coverage. Evan Williams, 3 weeks in a row now. So week 1, kind of like Jair and a lot of other guys, not the greatest, right? Week 1 was a little sloppy. Week 2, didn't really play. Only 4 snaps. I'm not going to count it. Then, since then, week 4, only 10 snaps, but I'm still counting it. 81 grade. Okay? Give him 10 snaps, some good opportunities. Team sees how good of a job he did. Again, 81 grade is fantastic. And they're like, all right, let's give him some more opportunities. The next week, he's a full-time starter, gets an 82 grade with an 83 coverage grade. Holy crap. Okay, this guy needs to keep playing. Then he follows it up with a 93.3. Right now, Evan Williams has a 91 PFF grade and a 91 coverage grade. Only 150 snaps, but still, that's crazy. Anyway, sorting through run defense grades, not the greatest. On the bad side, Colby Wooden, 52. Carl Brooks and Keyshawn Nixon were in the 40s. Jair, Lucas Van Ness, and Kenny in the 30s, with Van Ness and Kenny as the lowest. You just cannot have that crap. You guys are 280-pound, 320-pound defensive linemen. Run defense and tackling should not be your issues. On the positive side, just 3 guys. Xavier McKinney, 71. Edgerrin Cooper, 72. And Rashawn Gary, 77. Love to see it. Tackling, a lot of really good tackling. On the bad end, though, Wilson, 40. Jair, 29. I'll call it a 30. McDuffie, 25. Kenny with the lowest tackling grade at a 22. A lot of 70s, a lot of good stuff, but really good tackling. Xavier McKinney, 79. Evan Williams, 80. Edgerrin Cooper, 82. Quay Walker with an 84, so at least he's got that going for him. Pass rush, Rashawn Gary, the only one with a 70. And then on the bad side, Carl Brooks, Preston Smith, high 40s. Coverage grades, Stokes with a 50. Quay with a 45, McDuffie with a 43. Can't be having that. On the positive side, Keyshawn Nixon, 70. Well, no. Keyshawn Nixon, 74. Edgerrin with a 76. Jair with an 83. Evan Williams with a 91. And then Carl Brooks, who had 0 coverage snaps, with a 95 coverage grade. I don't know what the heck he did in coverage that had PFF absolutely, enjoying the moment. But it is what it is. Statistically, 10 total pressures. On the negative side, guys that had good pass rush attempts with no production. Lucas Van Ness, 17 attempts, nothing to show for it. Kingsley and Igbare, 18 attempts, 0 pressures. Carl Brooks, 21 attempts, 0 pressures. That's a bunch of bull crap. And then we had Preston Smith had 1 pressure on 16 attempts. That's not good enough. TJ Slayton, 1 on 8 is fine. Quay Walker had a pressure on 3 attempts. Obviously nothing wrong with that. Kenny Clark, 2 pressures on 30 attempts. That's not good enough. Colby Wooden, 2 pressures on 15 attempts is perfectly fine. And then Rashawn had 3 pressures on 26 attempts. Again, no sacks. Just 1 hit. That was by Rashawn Gary. The rest all being hurries. Buffalo Bills won the game. It was close. I said I had a feeling the Jets were going to win just for the sake of, karma, people talking too much trash, but doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Missed tackles, 1 for Wilson, Jair, and Bullard, 2 for Kenny Clark, and 3 for Isaiah McDuffie. Yikes. Stops, again, that is a tackle that is a negative play for the offense. 1 for Preston, Wilson, Gary, McKinney, Keyshawn, Slayton, Evan Williams, Carl Brooks. 3 for Quay, Edgerrin Cooper, and Javon Bullard. Getting into coverage, my goodness, that is a lot. Dude, there were 31 pass attempts. 11 went against Quay. 11 targets. You know what the next most amount of targets on this team is? 4. He had like 3 times 3 times as many targets as anybody else. He had more receptions than any 2 players on this team had targets. I mean, they are just throwing all over at Quay, and I mean, the production isn't the greatest, but man, 11 targets, 9 receptions, 69 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, no pass breakups, but dude, they are just, that's rough. Javon Bullard, 4 targets, 4 receptions, 39 yards. Edgerrin, 3 targets, 2 receptions, 11 yards. McDuff, 3 targets, 2 receptions, 22 yards. Jair, 3 targets, 1 reception, 18 yards. They are saying a touchdown was against him. That was the one touchdown they're putting it on him. I don't know. They seem to do a really bad job with that. I don't remember the play, but they still gave him a good grade despite that. He also did have a pass breakup. Keyshawn Nixon, 2 targets, 1 reception for 29 yards and a pass breakup. Stokes, 2 targets, 0 receptions. That's not terrible, but he still must have sucked according to the grade. Evan Williams, 1 target, 1 reception, 9 yards. Xavier, 1 target, 1 reception, 6 yards. Preston Smith, 1 target, 1 reception, 3 yards. Other than that, pretty much everybody that was in coverage got targeted, with the exception of Ballantyne and Kingsley and Igbare, but they each just had 1 snap in coverage. All right, let's take our final break, come back and see what NFL Pro had to say. And again, well, actually, let's start with some of the, seeing where our guys rank nationally for the season, and then we'll see if we have time for NFL Pro. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. So first off, Jordan Love has quite a hole to dig himself out of. Philadelphia, obviously, he didn't grade out very well, 65. Minnesota didn't grade out super great. It was about a 70, 69.9. LA, I don't remember his grades being this bad. I don't know if they went back and changed it or if I just blacked out or what. But they gave him a 44 grade, 40 passing grade. Granted, it was a bad day. He missed damn near every throw. It was about as ugly as you can get. But that was brutal. And then this game, good, not great. I mean, a 72 overall, 69 passing grade. Right now, he has a 65.7 grade, 62.6. It's a pretty low ranking right now. He ranks 20th between Gardner Minshew and, actually, that's passing grade. I mean, Gardner Minshew and Josh Allen, but Allen has some rushing stuff. If you look at overall, he's between Daniel Jones and Tua. So, yeah, dude's got a ways to go. He is ahead of Caleb because, suck it and all. But, Jordan needs to start stepping on the gas. Fortunately, he hasn't played a ton, so a couple really good games will turn this around pretty quickly, but he's got a ways to go. Freaking Brock Purdy's number 1 again. I don't understand. I mean, he's like the best quarterback in the NFL the last 2 years. Still, nobody's going to give it. Nobody's ever going to give this guy any credit. It doesn't matter what he does. 88 grade, 85 passing grade. He's been the best quarterback in football the last 2 years, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Craziest story. I mean, he is the next freaking Tom Brady, and nobody wants to talk about it. Okay, whatever. Receiving, not really seeing a whole lot of Packers. Jaden Reed, as far as receiving grade, ranks 22nd. If we look at overall, he ranks 16th. So we got a top 20 guy. I don't really see anybody else in the top 50, though. Remember, Wicks has been having a lot of issues. Christian really hasn't played very much. It is pretty bad, though, because, Jerry Jeudy is 50th with a 67 grade. Not seeing anybody else in here is not the best. But Jaden Reed's top 20. At tight end, Tucker Kraft was probably making a push at one point, but this past week was pretty bad. He ranks 32nd right now with a 57.7 PFF grade. Where did he go? Here he is. 63 receiving grade, 70.5 drop grade, 29. Where is he? This is too hard. 24 fumble grade because he got that ball punched out, and then his pass. It doesn't show run blocking. I wish it did because that's more important than pass blocking. But what? So he's also got a ways to go. He needs some more of those big games. This past week again was really bad, so that doesn't help anything. At running back, Josh Jacobs is currently the 8th best running back as far as overall grade. If you look at rushing grade, he is also still 8th. That's not super surprising. He's a top 10 running back. He's doing a really good job, despite the production not being as good as you would probably hope. Because again, every time it seems like something's going to get going, there's always that third quarter, fourth quarter where he just plows into a offensive line that's not blocking for a while. I think the thing that is surprising, who's 10th? Emmanuel Wilson. We have 2 top 10 running backs right now, with Emmanuel Wilson with an 80.3 grade, 84.2. If we actually do rushing grade, Emmanuel Wilson is 9th. So if we look at rushing, Josh Jacobs is 8th, Emmanuel Wilson is 9th. Packer fans have been banging this drum for a long time that Emmanuel Wilson needs more snaps. He's a good football player, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think they're wrong. I mean, as far as PFF goes, if you're not a grades guy, then this is not as important to you. But as far as the grades go, he is ahead of, just to give you some context, he's a little bit ahead of Bijan Robinson. Behind him, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is 15th. That's the Lions' first-round pick. Looking at tackles, a little surprised Zach Tom ranks 9th. Just some good freaking tackles in the NFL, man. Again, 85 overall, 86 run blocking, 82 pass blocking. I feel like the overall should be higher when you're that good in both categories, but whatever. 9th overall, you got Darisaw, Rashawn Slater, Charles Cross, Bernard Raymond, Jordan Mailata, Penei Sewell, Trent Williams, and Teron Armstead ahead of him. I mean, those are all just fantastic tackles. I mean, to be in that company is pretty impressive. Rashid, I'm just going to scroll down through the top 50. There he is. He ranks 46th. I guess that's fine. Top 64, right? Run blocking, Zach Thomas 5th. I'm not even going to bother looking for Rashid Walker. I know he's going to be way at the bottom of the list. But top 5 run blocking tackle is pretty fantastic. Pass blocking, Zach Thomas 12th. Even more exciting, Rashid Walker is 14th. We have 2 top 15 pass blocking tackles. That's not a bad spot to be. It's not the best. Philly has the number 1 and number 5 pass blocking tackles. Baltimore has number 2 and number 9. I mean, the good thing about it, though, is you look at these other teams like, oh, they have better tackles. Yeah, but the fact that so many teams have 2, think about how many teams have 0 better than our tackle. Do you know how many Chicago tackles I see? The highest that I see is Braxton Jones, who's 29th. I don't know where the other guy is. Interestingly enough, I don't even see 2. Oh, there he is. Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell, just from pass blocking. Penei Sewell's good, but it's more run blocking than pass blocking. They're actually a little bit lower. They're 13th and 15th. Minnesota's tackles are 20th and 24th. So, pretty solid. Again, the run blocking is bad for Rashid. As far as like these top 50 guys, it looks like he has maybe the 3rd worst run blocking. Thayer Munford and Jedrick Wills are about the only 2 that are worse, but still, the pass blocking is absolutely there. And actually, I was wrong. I accidentally left running back checked. That Zach Thomas 11th, Rashid Walker is 13th. So there was one guy mixed in. At guard, looking at overall, Sean Ryan is 30th, Elton Jenkins is 47th. So how about that? Sean Ryan is outperforming Elton Jenkins. Which, again, I hate this about the grades. Elton Jenkins has an 83 pass blocking grade and a 60 run blocking grade, and they give him a 63 grade. Like, what the heck are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. But it is what it is. Run blocking, we don't have either of them on the list. Pass blocking, Elton Jenkins has the highest pass blocking grade of any guard in football. So how about that for a stat? That's crazy. He is 0 sacks, 0 hits, and 4 hurries. He is 1 spot ahead of Quentin Nelson. Sean Ryan, though, ranks 21st, which is also really not bad. Basically, 2 top 20 guards with Elton Jenkins being number 1. And again, this is classic Packers. Overall, I don't know. Run blocking, probably not great. Pass blocking, yeah, this is some of the best in the game. Like, Indy has better pass blocking guards, a couple other teams, whatever. But Green Bay is right there. And then old Joshy Myers ranks 35th out of 38 centers, which is not great. He has a 50.7 grade. Only Ethan Posick in Cleveland, Nick Harris in Cleveland, and Nick Leverett in New England have lower overall grades. Run blocking, he is second worst with a 47.4 run blocking grade. Only Andre James in Las Vegas is worse. Pass blocking, he ranks 16th. So again, he's still a Packer. Despite being one of the worst centers in football, he's a mediocre pass blocker. And of course, Creed Humphrey is just dominant. It's just probably the best center in football. It's so stupid. If you don't know Creed, I think we ended up taking Josh Myers instead of Creed Humphrey for some stupid reason. All right, defense. Let's get the good stuff out of the way. Defensive line. Let's see where our guys rank. Our highest graded defensive lineman is Carl Brooks, thanks to this last game, obviously. He ranks 38th, so we don't have a top 32 defensive tackle. That's unfortunate. After that, the next highest is Devontae Wyatt. Wyatt has ranks 70th. Then Kenny Clark ranks 95th with his 51 grade. Then TJ Slayton is 106th. And that is it. 106th out of 132. So there's our defensive tackles. Edge rushers. Not much better. This, as far as overall is concerned, I'm not going to sort all of these. Kingsley Enagbare is our top pass rusher. He ranks 55th. Rashawn Gary right after him, 56th. Preston is 64th. Lucas Van Ness is 97th. That's out of 124. So nobody's like sitting at the bottom, but nobody's good. Nobody's even good. And then we got linebacker. Let's start at the bottom so we can get to some good news. Quay Walker ranks 76th out of 88. So he's one of the bottom guys with a 47 grade. Isaiah McDuffie is 70th out of 88. Then we got to scroll way up here. Edgerrin Cooper ranks 11th. Out of 88 linebackers, he ranks 11th with a 78 PFF grade. That's not bad. In fact, I am going to sort these. He ranks 37th in run defense. He is, 28th in tackling. He's number one in all of these categories as far as Packers are concerned, by the way. There's nobody ahead of him. In pass rush, he is the highest graded linebacker with his 90.3 pass rush grade. He's just ahead of Bobby Wagner. And then his coverage grade ranks 12th. 12th highest coverage grade. So that is your rookie, Edgerrin Cooper, at least so far, with everybody else just being bad. At corner, we got Jair Alexander, ranks 18th overall, which is pretty solid in my opinion. Keyshawn ranks 64th, which is not great. Eric Stokes, 103rd, which is god-awful, out of 113. If we sort by coverage, which is obviously the most important thing, Jair moves up to 12th highest, which is great. Keyshawn is 82nd, which is bad. Eric Stokes is 104th out of 113, which is god-awful. So Jair's good, Keyshawn is not, Stokes is terrible. But then the most exciting thing, where are our safeties? First of all, Javon Bullard is 69th, so not the best. Evan Williams, number 1. Xavier McKinney, number 2. That's ridiculous. Evan Williams, 91.4 grade. Xavier McKinney, 90.5. It's insane Williams is ahead of McKinney. McKinney is on like a historic run right now. By the way, NFC North, you got Evan Williams, Green Bay, Xavier McKinney, Green Bay, then Kevin Byard, Chicago, then Brandon Jones, then Kirby Joseph, Detroit, and then Brian Branch, Detroit. Out of the top 6, 5 are NFC North guys. In Minnesota, you've got somebody down at 14th, so NFC North is ridiculous with the safeties right now. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's good enough. That's how I want to end it. We have the number 1 and number 2 safeties. Considering we had like the worst safety group in football, 2 years ago? Now we have the number 1 and number 2 safeties after one free agent and a draft class with a bunch of safeties. Not that I expect it to stay number 1 and number 2, but that is crazy. So, all right, you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.